Chisanga Malata of the Sun here with a man who needs no introduction, UFC middleweight champion and Stake.com ambassador, Israel Adesanya. Israel, how are you today?
Fresh, what's up?
I'm good. Thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. It's early morning in New Zealand. Obviously, you're a couple of weeks away from your rematch with Robert Whittaker at UFC 271. How has it been preparing for this fight, considering the emphatic nature in which you beat him with? Because I know a lot of fighters in the past, when they rematch someone who they've beaten emphatically, sometimes they're guilty of cutting corners and they don't prepare properly. How's it been for you going into this rematch?
That's not been the case this time. It's actually made me even more motivated to do it again and do it more decisively, if that's even possible. Which it is. I believe so. So yeah, that's what's my motivation for this fight. That's what got me up for this fight, was to do it again in a more devastating fashion.
And it's been 2.5 years since you and Rob fought in that historic card at the Marvel Stadium. Have you seen any improvements in Rob? Because obviously he's gone on a 3-fight win streak with wins over Darren Till, Cannonier, and most recently Kelvin. Have you seen any improvements? And if so, what do you think they are?
To be honest, I have seen sorry, my phone. I've seen some improvements in his game, but it's not as drastic as you might think or as you guys might believe. But yeah, it's the improvement still. So yeah, I'm not just staying the same as well. You have to understand that I improve very, very fast at a rapid rate, and I learned at a really fast pace. So yeah, I'm rolling with it.
And I'm not too sure if you saw comments that he recently said. He recently attributed the loss to his ego. Now, I was a bit perplexed when you said that, because to me it kind of came across like a self-defense mechanism. Maybe he wasn't giving you the just props. Is that something that you agree with, that notion?
Well, it was his ego, but I called it from the fight. I said, you know, he's acting out of character, and I said also that he's not being himself. Like, and people were all, oh, he's such a good guy, such this. I'm like, he's a dickhead. Like, you guys just don't see it. And now he's admitted that, yeah, it was his ego that got the best of him. And I'm like, well, I told you so. You should have listened to me. Listen to your dad. But yeah. I mean, what else is he gonna say? You know, I beat him. He said right after the fight, it's the best I've ever felt. So I remember that. I do not forget that. So that was the best he's ever felt. Bet if he could get better, I'm sure he's got better. Bring the best again, and I'll beat him again.
Mm-hmm. So you're getting another title defense in the books early in 2022, fighting in February. What are your plans and your goals for 2022? How active do you want to be? Obviously, you're very, very active traditionally. Even I remember following your kickboxing days, or times it felt like you fought every couple of weeks or whatever. So how active do you want to be in 2022?
I want to lap the division again. So to do that, I want to fight 3 or 4 times this year. Because I don't know if the climate of this whole fucking pandemic has slowed things down. But also being a champion slows things down, because there's only so many cards and there's only so many fights you can have and so many contenders. So for me, yeah, I just want to lap the division again.
And you know, that's a term that your countryman Kamaru Usman has used, lapping the division, and that's what he's doing in the welterweight division. But once you do that, what's next for you? Are you thinking a potential return to the 205-pound division?
Maybe we'll figure that out when that comes. But right now, I'm focused on what I'm doing at 185. But that's another side mission that will happen again down the line. But right now, focus is where I'm at, where I'm the king at.
And I'm not too sure if you're aware of this, but in March it will mark, I believe, the 10-year anniversary of you making your mixed martial arts debut. Now, I know that you're a very methodical and strategic man, and you had this plan going into it. Has the career mapped out and panned out exactly how you wanted to and exactly how you planned, or is the best yet to come in that sense?
So far, it has, and then some, but I'm not done yet. That's the thing. That's why I'm still enjoying this game. I'm not done yet. I'm not even close to being done. So, yeah, I'm just enjoying it as it comes. I'm taking everything as it comes, because it's a privilege to live this lifestyle, and I'm really enjoying it, soaking it in lately. And I keep telling people they should do the same. Whenever I fight, soak it up, because there's only you know, so many fights that I have. And I know I'm definitely over the halfway point of my career. So I know like there'll be a few fights I have left, and then before you know it, I'm out. And then, yeah, it'll be one of those ones like, man, I wish I saw him fight when he was alive, or I wish I saw him fight when he was active, you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of milestones, I remember when well, the first time I interviewed you was in the media day for what UFC was it? It was what card did you fight Brunson on? I completely the names, the numbers completely.
230.
230. Yes, it's
Yeah.
230, and we talked about at length about potentially headlining a card in Africa. Now, obviously, you're from Nigeria. I'm sure that's where you'd love to do it. Is that another thing in the list that you have to take off in this home stretch, perhaps, of your career?
100%. Because what me, Kamaru, and Francis are doing right now is history. You know, so there's got to be a way to cement that for us, for our people. And I feel like doing a card in the continent, the great continent of Africa, would be the one. So we'll make that happen. By hook or by crook, we'll make that happen.
And have you pitched the idea to the UFC at all, or?
Of course, yeah. They've known about it for a while, so it's gonna happen. But it's just, yeah, climates of things need to align properly. So yeah, it'll happen.
And things things that you talk about happening. Well, I'm obviously English of Zambian descent, but you've always talked about potentially fighting Darren Till. You've always said that no matter like down the line, this has got to happen. Is that something that you still want, like to close out your career? Because obviously, stylistically, your styles match up amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't got to happen, but it would be a cool fight. I keep propping him up. I'm like, come on, Darren, and he just run. I don't know, and I like Darren. I like Darren. He just hasn't got like sometimes it worked. Look, a classic case of another English middleweight, Michael Bisping, always hit and miss till it was his moment, and he hit big. So you can't sleep on these guys, these scousers, as they like to say. Yeah, he's a great fighter. So if he shows up one day. But if not, I can sleep at night knowing I never fought him. But I would have liked to just because of styles.
Fair enough. And the final question from me, Israel, I appreciate the time, and I'm sure you're on your way to training. Maybe you're running up those hills of death that you do that I've seen on your Instagram.
I've got breathwork soon.
All right. But yeah, the final question from me is: you've said that you think that you can top the victory over Robert Whittaker and do it more emphatically second time around. How do you foresee the fight playing out then?
I don't want to tell you guys. I say stay tuned. You'll find out. You'll be quite surprised.
All right. Israel Adesanya, thank you very much for the time today. I really do appreciate it. Take care, and good luck when the fight comes around.
Thank you. Appreciate it.